Today, we're here to talk about Tallahassee. There's legislation moving swiftly through both chambers of the House and the Senate that would strip women's access to reproductive care here in the great state of Florida. This includes the Omnibus Anti-Reproductive Health Care Bill, Senate Bill 722 and House Bill 1411. This legislation is another step closer to becoming law, with it passing its 3 committees of reference in the House already and having its second reference in the Senate tomorrow. We are standing here outside Representative Matt Hudson's office, Senator Gary Richter's office, and nearby to the district of Senator Elizabeth Benaquisto. Both Richter and Benaquisto are going to be voting on this legislation tomorrow, and we urge them to vote no to oppose this legislation, and we're going to tell you why. Senate Bill 722 would mandate medically unnecessary regulations that have closed abortion providers across the country. This legislation also defunds Planned Parenthood, stripping away access to care for thousands of Floridians, especially those here in Collier County. Those who support this legislation do so under the guise of protecting women's health. But the truth is, this isn't about women's health and safety. At Planned Parenthood, women's health and safety is our passion and our #1 priority, but abortion is one of the safest medical procedures in the country. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention grants abortion with a 99% safety record. The legislators should be focusing on improving access to care and expanding it, not restricting it for political gain. While bills to restrict women's access move forward, the Florida House of Representatives, led by the effort of Representative Matt Hudson, have taken the unprecedented step of defunding Planned Parenthood in the proposed House budget. This has never been seen before. It is unnecessary, and it's a defunding scheme that's also against Medicaid regulations, thus not even legal. And when it comes to Representative Matt Hudson making this case, he's doing it based on a thoroughly debunked smear campaign from the summer. And that smear campaign has been not only declared fraudulent, but those who created it have been indicted in the state of Texas. And in addition to that, let's get paid for that. Absolutely. The only thing Planned Parenthood is guilty of is helping women, and we continue to do that here in the state of Florida. And so those 2 individuals, not only they're indicted, but Planned Parenthood was cleared of all wrongdoing, meaning that when it comes to this debunked campaign, this smear campaign is essentially based on no rationale at all. It's essentially designed to hurt women's access to care. Now, when it comes to here in Collier County, in Florida, Planned Parenthood provided 70,000 patients with access to care across this state. 91% of our patients were female, and 67 were those seeking access to contraceptive services. In Collier County, we provide high-quality reproductive care to over 7,000 patients annually. And I am joined by community members from across this region who stand support and solidarity with Planned Parenthood and with our patients.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
Reproductive health care services are one of the safest medical procedures and most commonly sought by women and men here in Florida. No politician should be involved in decisions that belong to a woman, her family, her doctor, and her faith.
Here.
Yes.
With that said, it is my pleasure to introduce an actual healthcare provider, someone who works in our health centers here in Naples and in Immokalee to provide access to preventative reproductive health care services that are quite literally changing lives.